Welcome to Official Language School's curriculum, Science, Grade 4, First Term. In today's video, we're going to explain Unit 2, Motion, Starting and Stopping, Concept 2.1. Let's start. Force requires two actions, a pulling force or a pushing force. He's pulling the object, and down there he's pushing the object. The turtle needs a pushing force for skating, while the man needs a pushing force for hitting the ball. Now, can you explain? Did you think about how each of the previous objects starts to move? The previous objects require a force to stop or move. This force could be a pushing force or a pulling force. To move a stopped object, the forces acting on it need to change. Applying these forces to the object requires energy, where let's start by looking at some pushing force pictures. The boy needs energy to push the car and push. Yay! Bench press needs a pushing force. He's pushing. You need energy to push a car forwards or backwards. The little boy is pushing his friend. Now we understand that when you move something away from you, this represents a pushing force. And he's pushing his friend. Using the remote control of a television needs a pushing force that acts on its buttons. Using the remote control of a television needs a pushing force that acts on its buttons. Push the button, press the button, click the mouse. Typing on a keyboard. Mr. Simpson is pushing down the button with his finger and push. Moving the cupboard away from you needs a pushing force. Hitting the ball needs a pushing force. You missed it. Let's hit pushing force. Closing your room's door from inside the room needs a pushing force. He's pushing the door to close it. The football player needs energy to push the ball to move it, while the goalkeeper needs energy to push against the ball to stop it. You can't stop the ball that is thrown towards you by the pushing force of your hands against the ball. Now, let's look at some examples of a pulling force. A back workout is an example of a pulling force. He's pulling. One more time. Pulling force is used. The girl needs energy to pull the suitcase. She's pulling the suitcase as she walks. Now we understand that when you move something towards you, this represents a pulling force. The little sheep is pulling his friend towards him. Putting on a pair of socks needs a pulling force. Putting on a pair of socks needs a pulling force. A tug-of-war is basically a pulling contest. That dog is pulling and this dog is pulling forces everywhere. As the person opens the door, he is exerting a pulling force, while exerting a pushing force to close the door. A pushing force for closing the door, and a pulling force for opening the door and searching for his cake, maybe. She is pulling down the door to close it, hence a pulling force. Pulling down, pulling force. Yay, we did it! Pulling a refrigerator door to open it. Pulling the door to open it. Pulling the freezer door to open it. Now let's answer this question together. What force do you use to kick a ball with your leg? Do you think it's a pull, sound, or light? We use a pushing force to kick the ball with our legs. The picture shows some examples of pulling forces and pushing forces. We said that tug-of-war is a pulling force contest. Pulling the suitcase is a pulling force. Putting on socks is a pulling force. Now the push forces. Pushing the stroller is a pushing force. Pushing against the cart is a pushing force. Pushing the button is a pushing force. Now, let's see the second activity, truck versus airplane. Is this even possible? Let's find out. Does the car move faster than the bicycle? Is the dog moving faster? Or is the car moving faster? Of course the car is moving faster than the bicycle. So yes, the car moved faster than the bicycle. Does the truck move faster than the jet airplane? Take a moment and look. Of course, the jet airplane is much faster and much more powerful than the engine in a truck. So jet airplanes fly much faster than the moving truck. So does the truck move faster than the jet airplane? The answer is no. Jet airplanes are faster. A mind twist question. What would happen if a jet engine is put on a normal truck? Oh my God, can we actually do that? The truck in the opposite figure is known as the shockwave truck, which has been fitted with 3 jet engines. Look how powerful it starts. Due to these 3 jet engines, the shockwave truck can reach speeds of over 500 kilometers an hour, which means that it is about 5 times faster than the normal truck that drives down the motorway. Look how fast and powerful that shockwave truck is. How does this truck move and how does it stop since it's so fast and powerful? The powerful engines help the shockwave truck start moving and reach record speeds. To solve the challenge of stopping this truck, the truck's engineers turned to the idea that is used in the rocket designs. What did they use in the rocket design? They installed 3 parachutes that the driver opens to help slow down the truck quickly. What a brilliant idea! You can see how the parachutes open to slow down the truck. Now let's solve some questions based on the previous pushing forces, shockwave, and rockets. First question, which one is faster, a normal truck or the shockwave truck? Give a reason for your answer. Think for a moment. Of course, the answer is the shockwave truck is faster. Why? Your reason is because it has 3 jet engines. Good job. Second question. What happens if the 3 jet engines of this truck are replaced by the engine of a normal truck? What will happen to that shockwave truck? Of course, it will move with a slower speed. Third question. What happens if the parachutes of this truck are damaged during its motion? It can't stop quickly. It's going to be so hard to stop without the parachute. Now what happens if the shockwave driver opens the parachutes? Of course, the shockwave truck starts to stop gradually. On to the next. Let's solve some fill in the blanks and check our understanding. The speed of a normal truck is blank of the jet airplane. Is it slower or faster? Of course, the speed of a normal truck is slower than that of a jet airplane, which means the speed of the shockwave truck is faster than that of a normal truck. Now let's look at the following statements and indicate whether it's true or false. The engine of a normal truck is the same engine of a rocket. Of course not, it's false. Engineers use the same idea of rocket design in stopping the shockwave truck. It's true, good job. You need energy to make a force to move a chair from one place to another. Excellent, it's true. Normal engine is used in moving, not stopping, moving a normal truck. Of course, it's true. Jet engine is used in moving the shockwave truck. Of course, it's true. Parachute is used in stopping both of the shockwave truck and rockets? Of course, yes, so it's a true statement. Now let's give a reason for the following. Parachutes are used in the shockwave truck and rocket. Why do you think we use parachutes? Answer is to stop their movement. Now let's choose the correct answer from the following. When you move something away from you, this represents sound energy? No. A pulling force? No, I am moving something away from me. Light energy? No, that's not correct. The correct answer is when you move something away from you, this represents a pushing force. When you move something toward you, this represents a pushing force? No, Light energy. No way. We are moving something towards us. Maybe sound energy. No, that's not correct. The correct answer is when you move something toward you, this represents a pulling force. Push or pull actions are considered as types of adaptation? No. Energy? No. Device? Of course not. Push or pull actions are considered as types of force. What force do you use to kick a ball with your leg? We use pull? No. Sound? No. Light? Again, incorrect. The force we use to kick a ball with our leg is a push force or a pushing force. The speed of a normal truck is more than that of a jet airplane only? No, because normal truck is slower than the jet airplane. A jet airplane and a rocket, again, they're faster than the normal truck. A rocket and a bicycle. A rocket is faster than the normal truck, but bicycle is slower than the normal truck. So the answer is the speed of a normal truck is more than that of a bicycle only. Parachutes are used in the shockwave truck too. Increase its speed? No. Keep its speed as it is? No way. Change its direction? No, they're parachutes, so they are used for decreasing its speed or decrease its speed. Now let's put true or false. Putting on a pair of socks needs a pushing force? Do you remember that picture? He was using a pulling force, so the answer is false. You need energy to push a car forward or backward. True, we need energy to push a car. A car can move faster than the bicycle. Remember the dog riding the bicycle? Who was faster? Of course, the car was faster, so the answer is true. A normal truck can move faster than the jet airplane? No, so the answer is false. The 3 jet engines in the shockwave truck allow it to fly? No, false. Next, a normal truck is slower than that shockwave truck? What do you think? Of course, it's true. To slow down the speed of the shockwave truck quickly, parachutes are used. True. Excellent. Good job. The main difference between pulling and pushing forces is the direction of the force. True. Excellent. Now, let's write down the scientific term for each of the following. First, a force that you make to change the direction of an object towards you. This is known as a pulling force or pull. A force that you make to change the direction of an object away from you. So this is known as a pushing force or push. One of the fastest and most powerful trucks in the world is known as the shockwave truck. Great job! Let's fill in the blanks together or complete the following sentences. The car can move or stop depending on the change of blank acting on it. Think for a moment. The car can move or stop depending on the change of force acting on it. Excellent. When we put a jet engine in a normal truck, its speed will increase. Great job. In the shockwave truck, engineers put 3 blank engines in it to increase its speed. And they installed 3 blank to stop it. 3 engines and shockwave. So shockwave truck immediately jet engines. So they put 3 jet engines in it to increase its speed, and they installed 3 parachutes to stop it or slow down its speed. The idea of stopping the shockwave truck is the same idea of stopping a moving rocket. Marvelous! Let's move on to the next. The shockwave truck starts to move by the dash engines and starts to dash by the help of parachutes. So the shockwave truck starts to move by the jet engines. Excellent, just like we said before. And starts to, of course, stop by the help of parachutes. Great memory. Engineers use parachutes to slow down the motion of the dash truck and dash to stop them. Parachutes are used to slow down the shockwave truck, of course. Good job. And a rocket. You're doing amazing. When you kick the ball that's standing on land, it starts to, of course, it's going to move. Excellent, kids. Now let's give reason for the following. The shockwave truck is faster than the normal truck. Why? Because the shockwave truck has 3 jet engines. Engineers use parachutes in the shockwave truck designs. Why did they use parachutes? Of course, to stop the shockwave truck. Now, what happens if, ever wondered what happened if engineers placed a jet engine inside a normal truck instead of its normal engine? The answer is, of course, it turns into a shockwave truck. Good memory. Now, what happens if the shockwave driver opens the parachutes? What do you think? Of course, the shockwave truck starts to stop gradually. What happens if you kick a stopped ball on the ground? Of course, it starts to move on the ground. Now let's classify the following actions according to the needed force, whether it's a pulling force or a pushing force. Typing on a keyboard is a pushing force. Excellent. Remember Mr. Simpson when he was pushing down the button. Now lifting a bag is a pulling force. Good job. Now, kicking a football is a pushing force. Moving a chair away from you is a pushing force. Great job. Closing your room's door from inside the room is a pushing force. Excellent. Now, opening the door of a refrigerator is a pulling force. Good job, kids. That was the ending of today's unit. We'll see you in the next video.